Right, we are recording. And Rose, are we live on YouTube?
Yes.
Fabulous, fabulous. All right, my friends, welcome to Wednesday, November 19th. I am your host and your coach, Felicia Saraceno. For those of you who know me, welcome back. For those who are new, I'm a former executive director of senior living and memory care. So I'm your insider information with what happens in a community, especially during the holidays. Also, I have moved almost 400 seniors into senior living. And as a real estate agent and as a professional working in the senior living industry. So, this is my passion. This is what I love to do. I'm here as one of your coaches. I provide that insider info. And right now, it's the holidays. They're here, they're upon us. I asked in the Facebook group today what questions that you might have. And I know, Cindy, you had one first. So I wanted to go with you we want your input. We want to help you with what's happening with your business, pulse on it right now. And then we're going to be able to brainstorm and figure out how to combat that, give you some strategic advice, and then excel your business throughout the holidays. So, why don't you get started?
Okay, so the question I posted on Facebook was, I feel like I'm doing all the things. I'm following what the coaches are saying. I'm also have some coaching at my office too, on systems and stuff like that. And I just hit my 5-year anniversary as a realtor. Um, my first 3.5 years, I really was also caretaking for my dad too. So the fact that my business didn't really take off was okay with me. But I've had a full year and a half of hitting it hard as a senior transition specialist, which is how I market myself. And I just don't feel like I'm getting any traction. I had, believe it or not, from March until July was my slowest time, which is crazy because that's supposed to be your busiest time. I am pulling in five closings before the end of the year, which is amazing. But yeah, I know, very amazing. But I feel like maybe my messaging might be just a little bit off because I'm getting desperate people in tough situations with $100,000 houses.
Yep, I
And I'm
understand.
happy to help them, and I want that to be a part of my business, but I feel like it's not sustainable unless I get maybe some higher end. And 400 is probably the average
Hmm.
in our area. And the five transactions, actually, one of them is 500, old family friend, but the other four are under 250. I've got $100,000 one that I'm selling, which I didn't even know we had places for $100,000 available. And the people are reaching out to me and saying, "Oh my gosh, we're really desperate. We have all these problems." And I was like, one example, which this is amazing because something's working with my marketing. I got a woman called me super stressed out, and I asked how she got my name, and she said, "From Rhoda." Rhoda is somebody that I took a dance class with 15 years ago. I don't even have her phone number or address. I do wish her happy birthday and comment on her Facebook posts. But Rhoda, based on dancing with me for a year, thought I was a decent human being and saw my Facebook and saw that I focus on seniors. So awesome.
Hmm.
The message is getting out, but that's a $185,000 listing.
Yeah. All right. So, first off, how many of you are having the same issue? Please type in the chat yes. No one's having that issue right now?
Just me.
Nope. I have the same issue from time to time.
Yeah.
All right, great. So, what's really important to know is first off, if you're a member, you get access to what to post on what day, from carousels to reels to videos, standing alone graphics, depending on what the healthcare observances is for this month. So it's
Felicia,
diabetes.
there's nothing posted for November.
There is. It is
Oh,
posted. I was on it this morning and I was just posting. So
oh,
we could talk about that offline. It's on your
okay.
dashboard. You go, right into Kajabi. It's on your dashboard. It's on the private member Facebook page as well. And
Okay,
I was
because
thinking,
okay,
okay,
because I saw
so
September and October.
yep, it's in there. It's definitely in there because I just did it this morning. So tested it, it works, and it's working great. First off, when we post, we have to be very cautious of the words that we are using, the words that we are saying when we are posting. Now, when you do go to post, I like to use different um, AI tools for different things. I use ChatGPT for a lot of brainstorming. I like Gemini for cleaning up my post and making sure they are SEO and AEO appropriate for the message that I want. So when you go to Gemini, you would write in clean this post up to ensure it is SEO and A, like Apple, EO for artificial intelligence, going to get me the reach that I'm looking for to serve seniors in the real estate market. Everything that we are posting is creating an algorithm for us on Google, on social, everywhere. The other thing that we are missing, because and I'm going to have this woman come on to talk about this. When I was at EXPCon, I signed up for RealGrader and like free thing to do to see how my online social media presence is, and experience.com. Experience.com gave me a rating, like a credit rating, right? From 0 to 850. And it told me how I was doing with my SEO and my AEO. And it had me clean this up. And the reason why is because people are going to their phones and saying, who do I use to help me sell my home? My mom needs to move into senior living. They're doing it every day, the adult child. And even if, or they're going to an influencer, like what you had just said, if your branding is not the same throughout, if your messaging is not high level the same, it's going to pick up words that you use. Like Paul says, the words you're using are either killing it for you or they're killing you in this space. And now it's even more crucial than ever. All of this social media and AI is free right now. So we got to take advantage of this because it is free, free, free. All right. Now I'm bringing this up because we're going to go through this in a couple of different phases. And I've seen Cindy, you're posting, you're doing a great job. But here is the piece that we're missing. I have people that post to me, or view my post. They're trolls, right? They're not really interacting with you. They're just trolling along and scrolling and seeing what you post. And every now and then they're going to throw you a lead. And that is the greatest piece of social media that you can have. So you got to take those people and put them to the side because no matter what you post, they're watching it. They're not engaging. They're not liking it. They're not commenting, but they see what you're doing. And if you don't think they see what you do, oh, they're watching you. Okay. So don't ever worry about them. Just go, okay, great. You're watching me. Send me a lead. Those leads that come in, they can be 100,000 to $1 million, whatever the case is. You can't control that. But what you can control is who you're partnering with. And the biggest person who is going to get you the biggest piece of the largest real estate that you ever are going to get for leads is who do you all think? Who do y'all think the best person is for this? Write it in the chat. What partner do you think is going to help you with this? Y'all are quiet this morning. I'm going to wake you up. How many Pacific Coasters do we have? I know we have one. All right. So senior living, that is one. But the number one person, David said assisted living. Yep. The number one person who's going to get you the highest leads, financial advisor. If you are not partnering with high wealth financial advisors, you're missing the boat. They are the key to your leads. They are the key to the highest earning potential people within your marketplace. And it doesn't matter where you live. I live in Naples. You could live in Delaware, Connecticut, Michigan. Doesn't matter where you are. The financial advisors hold the keys. Estate attorneys, they do, have those keys. But sometimes the people coming to them are the more desperate, high hand holding people that you will need to help because they're going there for an emergent situation. So if I was just signing, like starting out right now, and I didn't know anything about this industry, I'd be hitching my wagon to a high net worth wealth advisor. Call them and ask them, just like Paul says. Ask them what their book is. What's
So
their threshold for how much they take?
So exactly how would you do that? Because I have had conversations with my financial advisor. One saying, who do I need to know? And so he's hooked me up with a couple of attorneys, and a friend of his manages a senior community. And he was astounded that I even asked that question. And then I said, let's think about opportunities for us to partner together. And then it kind of fell off, and neither of us,
Not the right partner for you. He's not the right
pardon?
partner for you. He's not
Okay.
the right partner for you. Keep it moving.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be very clear about this. When you are meeting with your partners and you are meeting with them and they give you the runaround and they sit there and go, oh, I can't believe you're asking this. Oh my gosh. They're not the right partner for you. Do not put a square into a peg hole. Do not. When you meet with the right person, they will say to you, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked that. Well, I have someone who won't take anyone under $2 million in net assets. Okay, great. I know exactly who I can refer to you. But on the flip side, who do you know who needs these services that I can provide? And how can we partner together to not only strengthen our relationship, but also to provide solutions for your clients that have an immediate need right right now? And if they're still spinning their wheels like, oh my gosh, I love this, okay, that's fine. Ask them if they do any presentations and if they're willing to do a presentation with you. Now, yesterday I was on a call for agents within my brokerage, and we talked about this. And we talked about all the different ways that you can partner with folks, just like we have talked about on this call. No other real estate agent is doing this. When you do partner with a financial advisor, if they are the star of the show, it has to be approved by their board. It takes sometimes 8 weeks to get that approved. If
Mm,
they are a guest panelist, they can avoid that.
mm.
Same with an attorney. So this is your biggest cheat sheet. And I've told you this before, if y'all been on my calls, you ask them to be on a panel, and you could have a panel talking about domicile in your state because people are moving from state to state and there are different rules for everything, especially with estate planning. And you can ask them to be on a panel with you. You could also ask them to be on a panel with you for how to create longevity with your finances as you find your forever home or senior age in place options. And you can have a move manager, you can have the financial advisor, the estate planner, and you are their real estate authority. You're bringing them value. You're letting them know that you will share everyone who attends. You have to create the rules of engagement. Corey's done a great job on laying this out, as well as myself. You have to let them know it's everybody's responsibility to promote the event. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. Getting back to how to get higher net worth individuals, you have to go where the wealth is. If you're doing a wealth and wine event, if you're doing something that is going to bring in people within your marketplace that are high net worth individuals, make sure you host an event at the swankiest, most luxury assisted living or senior living community in your marketplace. Maybe it's a 55 and over community. Partner with them. Everything's got to match up. Your marketing's got to look slick. It's got to be nice and luxurious. Your brand, like everything's got to be on point. And you can target those folks on social media as well when you're talking about this and have just a conversation with them. If you want something, your energy has to flow to what you want. So we just have to think bigger. Senior living communities are going to get what they get when they come in. They have to do a financial background search on them. Some of them have that requirement where they actually do a background check for it. Okay. They have to do a health screening as well. So, in your marketplace, who are those top luxury communities and are you partnering with them? How many options do you have in your marketplace? How many senior living communities do you have?
So I'm in the Twin Cities metro area. Do I count the entire metro area or do I just
Whole
count
county,
the
your
well,
whole area, your whole area.
my whole, yeah. So I don't know. I know, well, at one point I did know in my county, but I've got three different counties that, so I should check that out. I should
Check
know
that
that
out,
number.
rate them. Yep, rate them.
Mhm.
I have 39 in my immediate area. That's not
Mhm.
including Lee County, that's Collier County. Once I go up through Sarasota County, we're rounding about 98 communities. And so I know which ones are the higher end and which ones are the lower
Mhm.
end. I don't go to the Medicaid communities. First off, that's not my
Right,
client.
right.
I want to be able to help them when they come to me as a referral, but my client lives in that 800 to $1.5 million range. So I match that with my communities that I go to. And
Mhm.
sometimes you're going to get a 300, a 500. I got a $117,000, trailer. That was fun. I know nothing about mobile homes, but I learned really fast. And I learned that there's a medallion on the outside of them that counts. I didn't know anything about this. But what I'm saying is that you just have to explore and you got to dig. So keep doing what you're doing. Remember, social media takes a long time to get leads. I, on average, get 5 leads from my TikTok every year. I can count and make sure that you're keeping track of this. About a third of my leads come from social media, and that's just from me posting. But majority of my leads come from my referral partners, not my past clients, my folks who are partnering on my board. And as you partner with them, those relationships will strengthen, but you got to be top of mind and you got to be right in front of them. And if you
Mhm.
don't have a schedule, which I've talked about this and there's past classes on this on the platform
Mhm.
on how to schedule these out and how
Mhm.
to partner with people, you're missing the opportunity. And we talked about this last week, especially during the holidays, because that's when the most people start to tour in senior living. Huge opportunity right now.
Mhm.
Now, I know, Lisa, you had a question about events, right?
Yeah, so basically, now that I've started to get into the senior living industry and networking quite a bit, and getting into some senior living communities, everybody's got some sort of program or donation or charity that they want you to be involved in. And it's the question of you want to participate, but quite honestly, participating in everything, you just can't do it. I just
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yep. And so I'm going to tell you when it comes to events, I'm the queen of events. Okay. I have held events that I've brought in $500,000 from 500 people down to 30 people, down to 10 people events. Okay. That used to be my job. My job working for a hospice was the fundraising and events director. Okay. We had 36 breakfasts a year, a gala, and a golf event. So events are like second nature to me. Fundraising is like, it makes me happy. Okay. I'm weird. Okay. I get it. When you are an agent and you are working with events, and this comes from my coaches. So remember, I'm your coach on the Productive Aging Collective. I also have coaches. So I have 4 coaches. I'm going to count them up. Okay. So you guys are benefiting from the thousands of dollars that I spend on developing myself because I get to share what resonates and really helps tick business for everybody. So when you plan out your year, break your year up into quarters. Okay. So you have 4 quarters in the year. Okay. Within those 4 quarters, you should do one fun event. And your fun event should include a mixture of your past clients, like something that you have to celebrate people. If you don't have any past clients, it's great. Do an event for all of your referral partners that you want to partner with. It has to be fun. You can partner with any of your bod. You could go to a happy hour place, and do happy hour together. You can go to mini golf. It has to be something that is fun and engaging. All right. Um, I do fun events all the time. I did a bingo event last night where 15% of the proceeds went towards my charity that I am involved with. And on a side note, when it comes to a charity, this is the best advice that I can give you as someone who has been pulled in many, many different directions as a leader of my community. Okay. You cannot support Parkinson's, Alzheimer's Association. You cannot support the Children's Fund. I don't care what it is, the Wine Festival. You cannot work on 7 different charities. You can't even work on 4. You got to work on 1, maybe 2. And that's what you have to be known for. Like I am known for Naples Interagency serving seniors in my marketplace. We are the only nonprofit that raises funds as a networking / 501c3 in this market. So everybody knows me as the NIA president. That's what you have to get known for. If you want to pour into the Alzheimer's Association, do it. If you want to pour into the Parkinson's, whatever you're involved with, do it. I will caution you, if you want to work with seniors, doing stuff with children gets a mixed message. So make sure you pick your focus. Can't do Toys for Tots one month and then seniors another month. You have to be, you got to have a clear messaging because people are going to go, I don't know what you do. What's your focus? Okay. So when we talk about events, you're going to work on 3 events a year. 1 fun event, 1 educational event, and the educational event is for the adult child or the senior themselves. And you have to have 1 real estate event. I don't care what it is. People have to know that you are in real estate. So when you're working on these, your real estate event could be something along the lines of my favorite to do is senior scams and how you let trusted people within your home and how to protect your home. And I tell them all about me being a real estate agent and all about the crazy things that I have seen within, my history of letting people within, homes that aren't vetted, right? There's a lot of scammers out there. You can also do something on how to begin downsizing. Take this lovely book, Keep the Memories, Lose the Stuff. If you haven't read it, from Matt Paxton, who is our mentor, and he is an advocate for Productive Aging Collective. We're the only coaching program that he affiliates with nationwide. You got to read it because in the back, told you all this before, is the resources book in the back. It's going to tell you where to sell watches, x-ray films, yearbooks, stamps, toys, stuffed animals. It gives you cheat sheets all in the back. Where to sell them, what the website is, donate or sell, religious books, silver, sneakers, gold, model trains. And this is going to help your business significantly when you start working with your senior clients in downsizing them and cleaning out their house, okay? You can do something on that, picking pieces out of this book as tips for you, like what to do with my stuff. Think about all the amazing things that you can do And Cindy said, I've been invited to host a downsizers club for my city. Do it.
Mhm.
Downsizers clubs are so much fun. It takes repetition. You need to make sure you have to have people coming each time to explain things, but it's so much fun for them. And so when we're talking about events, hosting 3 events a quarter, a fun event, like I just did my bingo event, that was super fun. I got to introduce everyone. I got to close out the event, tell them what I do. Then my collateral's on the table. Educational event. An educational kind of event could be all of your partners that we talked about earlier for the panel, and a real estate event. Got to know you're in real estate. You could talk about, tax increases. Like right now for the state of Florida, it's tax portability and for homestead portability. And are we going to abolish property taxes? These are things that people want to hear about. And they don't understand how to use homestead portability from buying one house and selling it. I won't get into
Can I
that
ask
because
a
it's really my
question?
favorite. Yeah.
Um, do you have any losing my train of thought? Is there a rhyme or reason on what event you should do first in the quarterly? Or like if I start this come January, do you have advice on what's going to bring me that crowd? Because it would be like
Mm-hmm.
the first one introducing the senior, like me being a specialist.
Yep. So perfect. Great question. So here's what I like to do. I like to take a look at the healthcare observances calendar, and I like to look at all the holiday calendars that are happening out there. All right. So there's a lot of things that you can do, and I don't want to get you all down a rabbit hole because we could be here for 2 hours. But what I like to start out with is, and this has always been a good one. I haven't done this in a while. New year, new you. Do you have all your ducks in a row? Type of a deal, right? And when you talk about that, it's do you have your finances in a row? How to do a financial spend down with a financial advisor, giving you some tips and tricks on that. Your estate planner, talking about any new laws that might happen, right, for the new year, what they're seeing as trends for the gray divorce, how to protect yourself type of a deal, protect your loved ones. We have that happening a lot down here. It might happen in your market, but if you haven't heard about the gray divorce, it is 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds getting divorced after being married for 30 plus years. And a lot of times it's the second and third wife. And they're not left with much to nothing. So it is something of like women in wealth type events that we do down here. So you can have your financial advisor, your estate planning attorney, and then how to get started and bring in that downsizing specialist. If it is not you, it can be a senior move manager within your marketplace who's actually moving the things with them. I work hand in hand with my senior move manager. She gave me 5 referrals last week. She's the only person I'm going to use. Okay? So when
Where
it
do you
comes
find
time
somebody
for
like
it,
that? Where do you
I've
find the
worked with
senior move manager?
senior move managers really easy to find. You go to NASM,
Oh, you said this
the
yesterday.
National
Okay.
Association for Senior Move. Yep. And you can look for someone in your area. And if you don't know someone, ask your partners who do, especially senior living. They all typically partner with one. And I go on listing appointments with my senior move manager if I know the house is a hoarded house. We go together. We're a team. It isn't like, oh, you're going to call my vendor. Mm-mm-mm. Words matter. My team is going to help. I always say my team is going to wrap our angel wings around you to help you through this transition.
Mhm.
She's part of my team. Now, I use different move managers for different communities because senior living communities typically align with one. But my lady last week, she's my star because she's always referring to me. She always puts in a good word and says, I don't care if you have a real estate agent, you need to talk to Felicia. She's the best in the industry in this market. And if you're not meeting with her, you're missing the boat. And that's a type of partner I want you all to have. And it's because I've done such a great job servicing her clients. And so you find these folks by asking your other people that you are on your board who they know. And they'll tell you. And when you read to them the rules of engagement, they know that they have to do what to introduce you? Send a warm email so that you are elevated within that introduction. And I do the same for my clients. I never just say, hey, call Joe. No, they're never going to pick up the phone. So I hope all of this helps. What questions do you all have for me?
One thing, the content calendar for November, I can't see it either. It says November, but there's nothing in there. October was the last full content calendar.
Okay, so
That is
it
what I
is,
can see.
well, Rose, can you fix that, please? And I know that it is on the Facebook group because I just opened it from there. So Rose, make sure that is loaded up on um, Kajabi for members. And then before we all leave, does anyone have any other questions on what we spoke of today? Y'all ready to sleep?
I do, but maybe this is an offline conversation. As I'm talking with the person in my city that's in charge of the senior programming, and she asked me to pull together a suggestion for what the year would look like. We would meet once a month, and I worked
Mm-hmm.
with ChatGPT and came up with something. And in probably two-thirds of the cases, I had a specific, like a lawyer that I know that would speak, and stuff like that. And her response back to me was, well, you do know this has to be approved with the city educational board. I don't think we're on the right track. Let's talk later. So have you run into any of that? Because really, whenever I've spoken before, people are like, yeah, just speak. Great. You're awesome. And I haven't had anybody checking my work, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
everyone has a different um, level of hoops you have to jump through. You're
yeah,
just going to have to ask her to shed some light on that for you
yeah,
so that you can have some clarity as to how you can put something together that's appropriate for what the city is looking for. That's it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
And
did, but I was just surprised.
yep. So that's where you have to do. And listen, don't be surprised at people because they'll shock you every day. And you just got to pivot and shift.
Yeah.
We have no choice. So just know that things are going to get thrown in your way as a shiny penny object, and we just have to sift through that, be calm, and keep our feet grounded, and just say no problem. How would you like me to adjust? Because I don't
So
understand.
that reminds me when you said, things will get thrown at you. So I've been meeting with the senior community, and they're just excited that I can bring programming and that I, will help with events and stuff. So they reached out to me and said, so yesterday was National Princess Day. They were having an event for their residents, but also inviting the community in. They were going to have a magician and wondered if I could talk about like the magic of cognitive health. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not an expert. Talk to me about what you need. They just wanted me to insert little tidbits of information. So yesterday I wore a princess crown. I followed a magician and gave 4 tips from Heather Sanderson's book on cognitive health. I had a lot of questions from a lot of people. Now, obviously, those people already are in assisted living and they've sold their home, but I want to cement my relationship with this community. Talk about winging it, but I feel like it was well received. I
That's
got a lot of
awesome.
questions. I got applause. I got a tiara
Incredible.
out of the deal. So,
That's it.
yeah,
That's awesome. See, you pivoted, you shifted, and you did it. And
right,
that is exactly what you have to do sometimes. We're not always going to have all the right answers, right? We're not always going
right.
to know everything, but that's what we do here. And when we work with our clients, it's no different than someone saying to you, I have this $50,000 vase in my home. Where do I sell it? You're going to be like, I don't know. Well, you're going to do some research to figure out where to sell it, right?
Right.
And figure out how to help. So that's something that we all have to do. We pivot and shift and we help our clients. And I think that's awesome of you. So kudos. I'm so proud of you, Cindy. That's awesome.
Thanks.
That's great. All right. So any other questions before we're a little over, but that's okay before we head out? All right, so before we go, I am sending the form right now. It's in the chat. This form is the Get Referrals form. Some of you have already filled it out. If you've already filled out and you go to try and fill it out again, it will say you've already submitted your response. So no need to have to do it twice. This form will be on the free Facebook page that we have, and it's going to be posted today. It is going to be a connection piece for us to stay connected. We have almost 1,000 members on our Facebook page. And when there's a question of who do we know in Cincinnati? Who do we know in Orlando? We'll be able to figure this out from this Excel sheet, which is a Google form, and you'll be able to see on there who exactly you're going to be able to partner with, right? And the access to that is for our members to have access to it. And so it's $27 a month for it. However, it's huge access because on top of this, you're also going to be letting us know and message us as well what trainings you would like to talk about to have. What certifications do you want to have? And Cindy, I saw your certification the other day. And this is my advice to anyone in this entire community. So listen up about certifications. If you think a certification is going to get you more clients, I would like you to create a business plan and a blueprint on how that will happen. Most clients have no clue what the letters beyond my name mean. They don't know what a CDP is. They don't know what an SRES is. They don't know what a CAPS is. They have no idea. Now, if you feel that you need that certification to bring you confidence in projecting at what you're doing, by all means, I want you to get that certification. I do not poo-poo education. What I'm telling you is your CAP certification. It will take you months to get through if you're a full-time real estate agent. And I want you to be able to take these courses and have a blueprint on how you're going to implement it for leads. Because just by getting your CAPs, just by getting your SRES does not guarantee you leads. Does that make sense? So I'm not poo-pooing it for you. If the winter time is your downtime, it's not my downtime, okay? Because it's my snowbird season. I'm busy, right? And now with what's happened in New York, I'm really busy right now. So if that is your busy time, it's not time to invest in a certification. If it's your off time and it's crickets for you, by all means explore that, but create a business plan on what you're going to do with number one, the certification after you get it. Number two, how are you going to implement that within your social media and your branding materials? And number three, how is that going to gain you access to more referrals? So if you do not have a clear-cut picture on that, I want you to think about investing time, because some of these, like, your CSAs, it's going to take you a long time to get through, many hours, which is going to take away from your lead generation time that you have. And we all should be having multiple hours of lead gen every single day, which includes calling your referral partners, because that's your lead gen time. How are you connecting with them on a daily basis? How are you reviewing them? How are you boosting them up as far as sharing their knowledge on your social media? So I want you to really think about that. And I want to be really clear. I'm a proponent of education. I have 4 coaches, but if it doesn't bring an ROI to me, I need to put a pause on it. Like I was getting my broker's license a year ago. Then I thought about it and I was 3/4 of the way done. And I said, well, why do I want my broker's license? Number one, it's going to increase my dues, which are very hefty down here on an annual basis for the MLS. Number two, it opens me up for more liability, right? Because I'm a broker. And number three, how is it going to gain me more clients? Do my clients search and say, oh, she's a salesperson or she's a broker? I'm going to go with the broker over the salesperson? No. So I stopped and put a pause on it, because I'm not opening a brokerage. So what was the purpose of that? So I just want you all to understand that education is key to your success as long as it's helping you implement a blueprint on getting clients. And I gave you several tips today on how to get those clients, which is huge. Now, Dina said, this is my first call. So welcome, Dina. I know we're a little over, but first unmute, tell us where you're from. Is a $27 a month membership 1 year commitment or month to month? It is month to month, I believe, right, Miss Rose? And it is an amazing platform for you to, we have over 250 recorded calls. If you want to learn, and Rose and I need to go through and break up Kajabi so it's easier for you to learn each little module. So we are working on that. It also includes what to post content on a daily basis, your referral Popeyes, and ideas for you. And then, geez, when it comes time for events, there's event blueprint that I've done. Corey's done it as well for mentorships, for seminars. We're big events people because that's my database, where I get my database. In January, I'll be presenting at an event that has 750 seniors looking to downsize and move into senior living. Those are my people. So if I'm not on stage and I didn't pay the hefty sponsorship for it, I missed that opportunity, right? Because now I get all of those people who attended, I get the data. I can follow up with them. So these are things that you got to think about. So welcome. And Dina, where are you from?
I am about 30 miles outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia.
Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. We're so happy that you're here. What prompted you to join us this morning?
So I've seen you a couple of times through or your coach, one of your coaches, your coaching groups. And I jumped on your call yesterday. This is definitely an avenue where I have been on a journey to begin. So I wanted to hear a little bit more about what you had to say today. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. And I was so glad that you're able to join. So yesterday I had the opportunity to speak through another coaching group that we're on with our coaches. And I talked all about this industry, and I'll not keep you guys too much longer, but the amount of people who are like, no other agents are doing this is huge right now. This is a great time for you to capture it and move forward. So kudos for all of you being here today. Welcome, Dina. I thought I recognized your profile picture, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to assume. And we'd love to have you here. And just as a reminder, the LFG calls are Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern time. However, Friday is a half hour later for our West Coasters, right, Rose? So it's 10:30. And it's to give them a little time to sleep in a little bit, since we wake them up nice and early. And then we also host masterminds throughout the month. We're all about business planning right now, which is really important, with creating your pillars of service that you're going to help in the senior industry right now. And so I believe Corey's going to be speaking next week on this, if I remember correctly. Lots going on. Reach out to us on Facebook. You could always connect with us, message us. We're pretty fast to respond. And if you have any questions or some one-off questions, Cindy as well too, or Lisa too, for your questions that you had today, we'll be happy to help you a little bit. So I hope you all found this fun today. I'm excited
Thank
for
you.
everybody. And I hope you all have a great Wednesday. I got to jump on another call now. All right. Bye, everybody.